As a mom, we have to grieve the loss of our kids like 100 times in our lifespan. Let me explain. You know how on your iPhones it has like a picture of the day or even an album? Well, that popped up for me, and it was pictures of my kids back when they were 3, 6, and 9. And it just got me going down the rabbit hole of scrolling and looking. And I had these feelings in my heart. I mean, of course, I was just delighted to see their sweet little faces, but I had this like twinge of grief. And I've been reflecting on that ever since that we fall in love with our children at every age, don't we? Like when they're babies. And I could just still feel their soft little heads and the smell of them and how they felt holding them safely right here, and then that person that they are as a baby is gone, and they develop into this little toddler that waves like this and holds onto your fingers and as they're trying to walk and, is starting to form words, and, then you fall in love with that little human being, and then that human being is gone and moves to this more capable 3 or 4-year-old who's sure on their feet and racing around and wants to play pretends in grocery store and pet shop. And I don't know if your kids were like mine, but that's how they were. And anyway, my point is that you fall in love with each little person and everything that they are and how you interact, and then they transition to the next version of themselves, and you never stop appreciating who they are, and you always fall in love with who they are now. But there's that grief, right? That grief of never being able to meet that little one again. And then you see pictures of them, and it just reminds you, like almost like looking at a picture of a friend that's not in your life anymore, or a loved one who's passed on. It's almost like that, not quite. And I don't mean to be morbid, but so I'm reflecting on all of these intense feelings I'm having about every stage and loss that comes with it because they keep growing and developing, as of course we want them to, right? And the way that we show them love and affection and how they interact with us changes also. And it requires us to change and evolve with them in order to be good parents and meet their needs. Uh, and I was thinking, you know what? What can I learn from that now? Because as an empty nester and semi retired, I've said this many times before, but I am wanting to be the best version of myself. I want you to be the best version of yourself in this phase of life. And I am applying the things I am contemplating and being mindful about to life right now. So, the thought of losing your kids over and over again and that grief, that twinge of grief, how can I apply that today? And I thought, of course, I know. The same process is happening. My kids are young adults. The youngest is 19. And they're not going to be the same people they are today. None of them have had kids yet. And so I don't have grandkids in my life, but they still are developing and growing. And how can I fully love the people they are now today and not miss out on little things because I'm thinking about the past or worrying about things in the future or maybe just busy with day-to-day things? How can I fully be present and love the person they are today because that person is not going to be there like in 5 years? There's no specific timeline, but you get what I'm saying? And it made me think about wanting to be more mindful, more present, more appreciative, just like cherishing who they are right now. And it's only been a few days since I've had this mulling in my head, but I would say that even in the short amount of time, it's affected how I interact with them. I just take more time. I'm kind of more mindful of what is not as important, but seems important in the moment, right? For me, it's like house chores and checking things off my list and accomplishing the things I needed or wanted or thought I needed to get done in a day. But none of that really matters, I mean, there's always the have tos, but most of it, I should say, doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if the grocery shopping gets done tomorrow. It doesn't matter if my bathrooms are grubby. It doesn't matter. What matters is our relationships and our relationships with our loved ones, not just our kids, but, our close family members, spouses, and friends, and God. Like, all of those things are so much more meaningful and impactful when we can give our best selves, our biggest amount of energy, and our most compassionate and loving self to that rather than all that other, to-do list stuff. Anyway, just thoughts in my head about it, and I know there's so much wisdom out there, and I would love to hear your feedback and your experiences in raising kids and the grief that comes with saying goodbye to those different phases and the joy of falling in love again with who they are today. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Uh, Put your comments below. I'd love to hear about your kids and your grandkids, and just to share that wisdom amongst all of us. There's such support and help from each other. I mean, we've lived this long. I feel like we have a lot to share with each other. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to reading your comments, and I'm sure we'll be talking soon.